Well, hello again and welcome to our weekly look at Tiffin University football. Hi everybody, I'm Russ Snyder, voice of the Dragons. Next to me, head football coach, Mr. Cris Reisert. Coach, how are we doing today, sir?
Doing good. Thanks for having me again.
We always say it's nice to come in on a victory Monday after the Dragons went on the road, one of your last two games, and we always talk about how difficult it is to win on the road, and well, your kids got off to a really fast start on Saturday.
Yeah, no, that was the objective, was to start fast and finish.
I thought so.
And I thought our guys came out with a bunch of energy and came out with energy matched with execution, which is super important. Anytime you can chain on that energy and that effort and couple it with some execution, I think it makes it really dangerous, and you saw that on Saturday.
Saturday, the Dragons went up to Canton, Ohio, and took on the Walsh Cavaliers, and we mentioned it was a quick start. Right off the get-go, Reggie Coulson from 41 yards from your quarterback Nick Watson, only a minute and 45 seconds into the game, and the Dragons strike early with a touchdown pass, and then David Orlando's extra point, and you said you kids were ready to go and get stuff going nice and early in the ball game, and boy, you set the tone right away.
Yeah, no, we won the toss, deferred, and defensively went out and got a 3-and-out, which was big,
Yep.
and then offensively we were able to parlay that into a quick score, and Reggie won on a post route, which was good to see. It was a really good throw by Nick, and Reggie ran a great route, made a really nice catch, and so to be able to get reward for the execution in the touchdown, that was a good way to start the football game for sure.
We keep mentioning Reggie Coulson's name more and more throughout the season. We mentioned, I think it was a Kentucky Wesleyan game, where he really started to look like he was hitting his stride health-wise, and boy, he's really been a nice addition. His size and his speed, athleticism out there in the receiving corps. You can't have enough good ones. Boy, you got a whole bunch of good ones right now.
There's no doubt. No, Reggie can play, and like we had talked about, really it's his third or fourth week where he's actually healthy, right? And you couple that with the fact that he transferred in, so Nick and he are just starting to get a little bit of, I think, comfort level with each other, which is worth its weight in gold, And so I think Reggie's best football is certainly ahead of him, and excited that he's each week been able to get better and elevate.
That's emphasized on Sundays when you watch football. You can tell the quarterbacks will even talk about it. The fact that I have this great rapport with this guy because of all the reps we got in the spring, all the reps we got in the summer. You can't throw enough passes to your guys, whether you're on the football field or it's just you guys out on your own.
Yeah, comfort is a real thing, especially when you're talking about a quarterback and a wide receiver. I think the continuity and the ability to know what each other are thinking and see things the same way is such a huge deal.
Absolutely.
And I think we're just now starting to get more comfortable with each other offensively, and that's why we're playing a little bit better offensively.
Well, the Dragons struck again, not even 5 minutes into the first quarter. Darius Fenix had a nice game for you, scoring on the ground and through the air. This one coming from 3 yards out, he ran the ball in, and the Dragons have a 14-0 lead about 5 minutes into the contest.
Yeah, no, it was a good run by Darius. It was an inside run play, and we blocked it up very well, and Darius kind of plunged into the end zone. But I think obviously all those things, anytime you can start the game and score at a pretty good clip, it's gonna present some issues for the opponent. And I think defensively it gets you some momentum too, to continue to go out and get stops. And if I do that, then we're going to be able to parlay those stops into points, and that's something that I think we've done a good job most of this latter part of the year, is play complementary football and defensively kind of feed into the offense, and offensively feed into the defense, and special teams feed into everything.
Right.
And I think you saw a lot of examples of that on Saturday.
Well, your offense turned turnovers into points. You've been doing a good job with that all season long, and boy, a lot of big plays on Saturday, and the big plays really sparked that defense. You can see the guys on the sideline. I would watch a play happening going down the near sideline, and you would see the defensive guys up on their feet as quick as anybody else, and then there's some of the first guys for the high fives, and they get off the sideline too. You gotta love seeing that. So the end of the first quarter, the Dragons lead 14-3 after a field goal from the Walsh Cavaliers, and then Nick Watson had a bunch of touchdown passes in the first half. Nick Watson a pass complete to Anthony Lowe for 54 yards on the play, a 21-3 lead at this point. Now this was the play, I believe, is scored on the far side of the field, right? A penalty flag was dropped on the near side, and I, for some reason, thought that it was going against us, and Anthony finished the play, and I was talking about in the broadcast how even if the penalty flag's down, he finished the play. But then the call came against Walsh, penalty decline, touchdown Dragons.
Yeah, I think it was offsides on them. And no, it was great. It was a well-executed play. A couple of our linemen got downfield and had huge blocks, and Anthony obviously did the rest of the work.
Right.
But no, it was one of those things that rarely do things work as you draw it up. And that was one of the times where it actually did. So it was cool to see the guys executed it very well, and and kind of brought the play to life, and it lent itself to a touchdown.
Well, the Dragons weren't done yet, but they 21-3 advantage, still playing in the first quarter. This time, Nick Watson gets it to Darius Fenix, not on the handoff, but this time on the pass, and Darius catches it, takes it in from 8 yards out. The kick was good, and the score 28-3, and I think that's where we ended the first quarter with the score 28-3.
Yeah, no, it was a great play by Darius. Again, defensively got some more stops to kind of lend itself into that situation, and Darius made a really nice play, made a one-hand catch on a ball kind of thrown slightly behind him, and made it look a lot easier than I think it probably was in time.
Right.
And
it's nice to be an athlete, isn't it?
Yeah, and you get into the end zone at 28-3 and feeling pretty good at that point.
Well, the Dragons kept it going in the second quarter. This time, Nick to Darius again, 62-yard pass. Darius did most of the work on this one with his legs, but it's a 35-3 lead at that point. Go ahead and take us through that play, Coach.
Yeah, another. It was a running back screen, and again some huge blocks by our offensive line. You had some great effort plays downfield. Our receivers are playing with high levels of effort. I think our team is in general, but the effort led to the big play. In addition to Darius breaking a bunch of tackles, right? But I think you saw where our transition to the football and guys playing hard and running to it. I think it lent itself to a big play and ultimately to a touchdown. So huge play by Darius, but I think holistically it was an effort-based play, which is what we like to stress as a program.
Right.
And I think you saw it kind of come to fruition for us to continue to get examples of when you play super hard, good things happen, and this is one of those examples of it. And we didn't touch on it, but really earlier in the second quarter, right? Just to kind of beat the point home, right? Walsh throws a screen, and Charlie Cleveland with a humongous effort play, runs the screen down, strip fumbles, right? Jermaine Whitby dives on the football, and so I think you're seeing the effort on both sides of the ball, and that's really what's making a difference in, a 20-yard play and a 65-yard play on offense, and a big play for the opponent's offense, or ATB, a takeaway for us on D, and so I think effort is showing up, and that's a really good thing for our program.
Well, your team's been doing a great job of taking the football away, and Kevin Hyde had another interception on Saturday as well. He's just been having a knack for making big plays. Your secondary in general, Factor Tuame had some big stops coming up and filling on the running game as well. So your secondary, I think, has been playing lights out this year, and you've faced some really good wide receivers. They've been put to the test every single week.
Yeah, we have. No, they're playing at a very high level, and I think you're, again, it was fun to watch a bunch of guys flying around and playing with that type of execution and effort. And I think it's going to help us as we get into the tail end of our season for sure.
Right, and a lot of guys, too many guys to mention today, but as many guys that got to play on Saturday. That's a great thing to get some guys some real game reps. And a guy we'll mention here in a little bit, a guy like Devin Nelson, he had to feel great for the game he had on Saturday, being able to break a big, long touchdown run. And that was one of the plays where I'll tell you that defensive line was out there waiting for Devin to get back to the sideline after that play. So that's the one good thing about games like this. Sometimes you have to get out of hand and the game can get sloppy, but you were able to play some guys played some really important minutes, not only for this year, but as they worked their way through their Tiffin University career. And it was good to see.
No doubt. No, I think depth is it's like I've said before on here, the only way to get better at football is to play football, right? And the only way to get better in games is to play in games, right? To get real life game reps and have to deal with the pressure, have to deal with the different looks, have to deal with the speed and the pace of the play. And I think a lot of our guys an opportunity to play a whole half of football. Yeah,
especially on the defensive side.
That went into the game maybe not thinking they were going to play a lot of football. That's huge, and that always helps you later in the year. It helps you as you go into the spring, helps you as you go into next year, and so it's a big thing, and that's part of why, when you play a team that you feel like you can score some points on, to be able to do that, and you do be able to develop your depth, and that's a big thing.
Yeah, the self-confidence those young men get from making the plays actually when the game clock is running, not in practice sometimes, goes a long way as well. A lot of these young men getting a lot of playing time in the second half, and also in the second half, Devin Nelson, another touchdown run, 69-yarder to put your team up 49-3, and that one, as I said, I think that was going from your right to your left, and that was early on in the third quarter, and to kind of let everybody know that we got a big lead at halftime, but we're still here to play 30 more minutes of football.
Yeah, I think anytime you score again at the end of the half, and then the first drive of the half, we've had some success with that this season, and this was another example of it. And I was proud of our ability to go in with a 42-3 lead, right, and come out and still have an edge and a focus to us, and to be able to go up 49-3 with Devin's long run that was really well blocked up front.
Right.
Devin did a great job, kind of doing something with it and taking it to the house. I think it lent itself to a better second half than you come out and you sputter around a little bit.
Certainly.
Because you've lost your edge, and I was glad that we didn't do that. We played 60 minutes.
Well, I apologize. We failed to mention James Dean.
Yeah.
62-yard touchdown
James
pass
had a big touchdown
in
play.
the second quarter. I'm
Yeah.
sorry I skipped past that one. Luke, that was when he caught the ball in the middle of the field and looked like he spun himself around and was almost a little surprised at how much open space he had in front of him. But then once he turned his jets on, it was like, nobody's going to get him.
No, they were in a high two shell, and in the middle of the field was open, and James was available, and Nick made a really nice throw, and James did the rest, kind of pumped it down the pipe.
Yeah.
So that was great, and that put us up 42-3, like you said, going into half, and then Devin to make it 49-3, and then they got a couple of scores on us, and then we were able to kind of finish the game late.
Franklin Stewart comes in. I was watching him on the sideline. I watched him go get his helmet in the fourth quarter. Comes in on, I think it was a third down play. I don't remember who he came in for, but he puts his helmet on, comes in, and gets the football, and put a couple nice moves out there on the play, and got himself in the end zone, a 27-yard run for the final score for the 56-16 win. But a lot of different guys getting in the end zone. A lot of guys like Darius getting in the end zone in multiple ways. And I wrote down a couple things from the game on Saturday. Only had 6 third downs on offense.
Yeah.
That big plays is what is the big component in that equation. But still, only 6 third downs on offense. You don't see that very often.
No, we were able to, we generated 11 big plays, and I think those big plays obviously didn't create a ton of third down opportunities for us,
Right.
and so that's one way to be really good on third down is to not have third downs, right?
Yep.
And we were able to stay out of third down and stay mostly in first and second down and execute, and so that I think really gave us an opportunity to do some good things. And then defensively, I think we were 3 of 15 on
That's
third
what
down.
I was going to next. Yep.
So held them to about a 20% clip, and anytime you can do that, you're gonna get the ball back for your offense, and you're gonna generate more touches, right? So we have plenty of opportunities on offense to be able to score, and that's a tribute to the way our defense played.
I'd like to hear the conversation between your quarterbacks after the game. Nick can say 12 of 15, a bunch of yards, a bunch of touchdowns first half, not bad. Miles will be like, well, 3 incompletions a little much. I was 4 for 4 in the second half. So great play by both your quarterbacks in both halves of the football game.
No, they executed well. Our number one goal on offense is to take care of the football, and we did that. We ended the game with 0 turnovers, and so we're proud of that. And I thought both quarterbacks did a really good job of protecting the football and managing the game in that regard. Miles came in and made some nice throws, and it's a little bit of a double-edged sword where you're up in a big way and you're not trying to throw the ball a bunch, but we wanted to give him some opportunity to play football.
Yeah, you don't need to throw the ball downfield when you got to, but you got to bring your offense.
You do, and I thought he executed and did some really good stuff. For him to get some confidence, not that he didn't have it, but for him to get some real live reps. This is a big thing moving forward in the season.
We talked about you can't have the big plays without the guys blocking downfield, but you can't have those big plays without the guys up front blocking for you as well. And I thought your offensive line, even including the guys who came in and spelled some of the starters in the second half, I thought everybody played a pretty solid game.
No, they did. We tried not to miss a beat, and I don't believe that we did. So I was proud of the way that our guys came in and responded, and the standard is a standard, right, where it's not going to lower based on who's in the game, and the expectation is that we go out and we operate at a high level. And I thought, regardless if it was a guy that was expecting to play 70 snaps or somebody that was expecting to play 5, I thought they all came in and played with the same amount of energy and effort.
A couple Jessies had big games for you on the defensive side. Jesse Conway and Jesse Johnson. Yeah. Brandon Burks had a big hit early on in the game with a short pass that kind of set the tone for your defense. And we mentioned Kevin Hyde's name earlier with another interception for your guys. And your defense as a whole played a really solid football game.
They did. No, I thought we played very well on D. Like you said, the Jessies played okay, and Jesse Connell had another good week of making some plays, and Kevin Hyde had a big interception on a skinny post kind of thing, and Charlie Cleveland had a sack and a forced fumble. I thought he played really well, and so you're starting to see more guys, the same guys, right, continue to play well, and it was a fun day. It was fun for our guys to be able to enjoy themselves, but I think stay focused and play for 60 minutes. And I was proud that we were able to be mature enough to handle the lead and do things the right way for the duration of the game.
Well, we got one more left.
We do.
This Saturday at Findlay at 12 noon. If you are an alumni or anything, there will be the Gridiron Club hosting an alumni event starting at 8 a.m. I believe on the south end of the field over at Donnell Stadium. There'll be food and beverages and stuff there. So if you get a chance to get over early to Findlay, we really encourage the folks to go check out the guys at the Gridiron.
Yeah, no, we want as many fans as we can get over there. It's anytime you get a chance to play your crosstown rival, it's going to be a fun game.
Yeah.
And so I think as many dragons in green and gold as we can get at that stadium, the better. I mean, shoot, when we played them in 19, I really thought we did a great job of traveling well as a fan base to Findlay, and I think we're going to need that again this year. So we're hopeful to have as many guys over there as possible, and a bunch of alums and a bunch of supporters.
I got a bunch of alums that I actually, roommates of mine from the 90s that played football here at Tiffin University. We've already made plans to get together after the volleyball game on Friday night, and then I'm going to get a chance to see each other on Saturday morning before the game as well. That's one of the great things, we mentioned the rivalries with the Ohio schools, but the last game of the year against your major rival, you got homecoming that brings folks back to town, and then you got the rivalry game that'll bring folks back to town. Then you got the fact that we're winning football games and we're tied, and this game means so much to both sides. It's going to bring alumni from both sides out. It should be an electric atmosphere.
No, we're looking forward to it, and I think anytime you can get a bunch of people in the stands to watch a college football game, I think it's a good thing. And that's one of the cool things about college football, right? Is the what a rivalry does, and when you do win, what that does in terms of the pride that the alumni have for what's going on, and then I think just the opportunities to bring people back to campus, right, and showcase what your university is doing, I think is huge, and that's why we're so hopeful to continue to elevate our efforts to have an on-campus stadium, right, and obviously Philly doesn't have that either, but the opportunity to bring all that alumni and all that support right here on campus, I think will be a really big thing for us moving forward.
This is going to be a big one on Saturday, and all you can ask for is to give yourself a chance to play for a championship, right? Give yourself a chance.
At the end of the day, for us, it's what you want to put yourself in a position to do that, and like we've done all year, you're trying to go 1-0 and trying to play your best football game because it's the next football game, and I think our guys will prepare well and respond well and be ready to rock and roll Saturday at 12.
Saturday at 12 is the kickoff. Our pregame on WTUD, TUDragonRadio.com will start around 10 after 11, and we'll join Coast Country WMJK 100.9 on your FM dial right around 11:30. Coach, have a great week of practice. The weather's going to cooperate for you early in the week for the practice part. It might be a little chillier on Saturday, but it's going to allow you to get a lot of good work in, outside and inside. So have a great week of practice. We'll see you on Saturday, and we'll come and do it again Monday and hopefully talk about another Victory Monday.
Sounds good. Thank you, sir.
He's Coach Cris Reisert. I'm Russ Snyder. This has been our weekly look at Tiffin University football.